talking Katt Williams, which we're going to talk about probably to the end of time. Probably going to talk about him to the end of time. Epic. Yes. It's bad when Joe Rogan issues an apology. You know how bad it's got to be for Joe Rogan to be like, you know what? I caught some strays. Let me come. This is what you do, though, Roderick. Mm-hmm. You apologize because you're right. We all remember things how we remember them.
Right.
Even in the stealing of jokes, you don't necessarily know where you got a thought from. Yeah. If you hang out with people long enough, you don't know where your thought begins and theirs ends. It happens. Yeah. If I, apologize, it's okay. He caught strays from Katt Williams, who said you would never see me on Joe Rogan, which I thought was so clever. Joe Rogan has the largest listened to podcast in the history of podcasts. Yep. Well, he expressed his admiration for Katt Williams, and he said, wait, let me see. I love Katt. He's one of my favorite comics, and I'd love to have him on. We talk about him all the time. If he's down, I'll make it happen. Rogan has 12 million followers, and he on Twitter. I ain't never calling it that. And he rarely uses his platform on Twitter to share this, but he tweeted this out. Yeah. And that to me,
which is also interesting because Katt also said the comedians Joe Rogan has on the show are not
trash. Yes.
So that was also yes. Joe having Katt on is kind of like validating that them people caught them strays in a way. So it'll be interesting if they actually had that conversation, because I can't imagine Joe going to his mans and them being like, well, Katt had a point. Y'all ain't funny. You know what I mean?
No, but he was saying something also culturally that Joe looks out for his non-funny, mediocre people.
Yeah.
Basically.
But yeah, I'm saying it's Joe but if you Joe, you can't be like, yeah, man. So like Katt was saying, you know what I mean? You got to be like, no, y'all funny. Y'all funny. Y'all funny to me. Okay. Don't let Katt, I'm just having him on because, he said he wanted to come on. Don't think I'm saying.
No, he didn't say he wanted to come on. He said you would never see me on Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan promotes his own people who aren't funny.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah, I'm just saying he put him in checkmate. I don't know what Joe gonna do over there, but look, he said he want the man on.
Let me just applaud that, because that's how Bernie Mac got a TV show. Come on, America. What you afraid of, America? You remember that? Remember he's like, what y'all afraid of, America? I ain't the boogeyman. I ain't scared of America. I ain't scared of you. And then magically he has a TV show. Yeah. And it was brilliant. I thought that was brilliant because you have to challenge people's thoughts. Because I really don't think Joe Rogan was sitting there saying, I don't want Katt Williams on. It just probably never occurred to him. Yeah. So you have to put yourself in people's.
And like I said, that's why I said it was masterful. I'm just trying to peep game from a level beyond just of like whether everything was true or not, because I think we can all get caught up in that. But I'm just like, the way he delivered it is powerful. Joe Rogan is like, come on my show. That's powerful. You know what I mean? Like, there were I'm sure there's people that were thinking to themselves, I would never have Katt Williams on my show. I mean, he ain't nobody, blah, blah, blah. Now they like, I wish I had Katt. I wish he would do my show. He could tell people no. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
The way he kept saying, like, I don't have anything to promote. I'm just here to set the record straight. Like, there's just these moments of brilliance that I think you can never underestimate Katt Williams. Even when you go back to that interview where he like tore Wanda down, it was like, it was so smart.
What's her name? Wanda, not Wanda Sykes, Wanda Smith.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it, but I'm not 100% sure.
She started it though. That's another lesson.
But when I say smart, I'm not talking about right or wrong. It's the way he dissected her. He did, and I love how his brain works. He says like, I don't want to say something about her that's just gonna make people that are like her mad. That's so I can't say black woman with short hair, because now
I can't say. Fat, or I can't say a woman of a certain size
about her weight, because there's people in the audience that I want them to laugh and
more importantly, this ain't about her weight or her short hair or whatever. So he says her gnarled fingers.
The fact that he was able to think about it that fast, that's what separates him. Because I know you say you're gonna talk about Chappelle, but sometimes with Chappelle, to me, I'm like, that's where he loses people. Is that he's like, I want to hurt these people's feelings, and anybody that's like that get their feelings hurt. Oh well, that's part of it. Katt goes one level beyond in his style, which is they just have different styles. Katt's style is like, no, I want everyone on my side, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna talk about your gnarled fingers, because ain't nobody out there's gonna be offended by that, but everyone's gonna laugh at you. Man, that's so smart.
Oh my God. And I don't think you know what gnarled means. That was
Oh.
nasty. I was like, oh Lord,
Oh,
this
man.
lady. Oh, she's still catching it. I know she regrets
Oh.
talking about him. I
Whew.
think but you should know, don't you know? Shouldn't you know who you can and cannot do that to?
I feel like it. You got. I feel like depending on how you was raised. I don't know how you was raised, but we used to play the dozens when I grew up.
Yes.
So like
I'm
my dozen sixth sense be kicking in, and I'll be like, nope, not the one to play with.
Same, Roderick. The level of restraint that is
Yeah.
exercised over the last 10 years is
Some
stunning
people
to
got
me.
Yes.
I look at my mirror, I'm like, how did you not say these things that you were thinking? It's amazing.
Look,
amazing.
You
like, gotta know.
I got it in me. I don't like to activate it either because I don't think it's necessarily productive all the time. But he found a situation where you could do it.
But there's common ground, right? Because I don't know about you, but I was always protecting myself because I was the big kid, you know, with the glasses, with so you weren't gonna say things to me. I was going to eviscerate you before because my mother said you're too big to put your hands on people. So I had to figure out a way to hurt you without putting my hands on you. And it was effective. With him, he was small, you know, comes from this religious family. You gonna have to figure those people you never mess with. You don't mess with people that might have potentially been picked on if they're black from a certain generation because they got all of the words in time for you.
And if you're of a certain generation before social media, the other thing is the people you talked about, you had to see. So now you got in the physical element to it, which is also another way people I vibe with grew up like that. And I can tell because it's like, oh, I've had to punch somebody and I've been punched before. So it's a level of restraint and respect you show everybody. Just at baseline, because, you know, like sometimes I see the way people talk to each other now and I'm like, oh, you didn't grow up. And like to you could block somebody. If I said something about somebody's mama, I had to see them at the bus stop the next day too. And the day after that.
Yes, and 3 o'clock.
4 days
Wait,
in a row.
Hold on, and 3 o'clock is coming. 3 o'clock is coming.
You ain't gonna be at school all day. You ain't gonna be at school all day. You got to go on the bus at some point. And then I grew up in this neighborhood, Yorkwood. Now you on Yorkwood rules. Them ain't school rules no more. So like you could just, I don't know, like I vibe with certain people and Katt feels like he came from that era. So, you know, I like I said, I totally dug what he was doing. Even some of the cheap shot stuff, I was like, oh, it's funny, it's good. He got him. He said Steve had a man unit. I said, oh man, he is going. That was like in the first 5 minutes. I said he is going there today.
Yeah, it's happening. It's all happening. But it was all in the context of lying. So it was in context, you know, Roger. It was in context. You were having people out there trying to get a Steve Harvey high top fade, and that wasn't even a real thing. You didn't even have that yourself. The edge up wasn't yours. It was a man unit.
Karen, let me ask you this though, because I watched that show when I was, you know, younger, whatever. I thought we knew that it wasn't him, but
I didn't know.
Okay, so
I thought that was his hair. You didn't. You knew? Why did you know?
Because I've seen him before. Like he used to be on like comic book and stuff. His hair wasn't like that. And then he did the show and it was
grow it out. Can't you grow it out? I thought that was his hair.
I mean, after a certain age, men don't grow their hair thicker and fuller. You know what I'm saying? Like I just assumed it was some
man. Listen, I ain't know.
Okay,
I did not know.
Look, I was shocked at everybody being shocked yesterday, but now I'm like, okay, I guess I was wrong.
I mean, I have known since, but I didn't know then when he was on the show with Cedric.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
I didn't know then that it was a man unit. I didn't even know what a man unit was. I didn't know that was a possibility. You know, it's like, what is that?
I didn't know they were called man units either. That was maybe Katt made that up too. I don't know. It's a man unit.
Yeah. It was a toupee, a high top fade toupee, and I want to know who produced that too, because that was a masterful thing. You know, so I'm learning things today. People shooting guns in the air. Folk want to hold on and talk about that as well. So let's go to your neck of the woods, Eddie in North Kakalaki. Welcome to the Karen Hunter Show. Hello.
Hey, Karen, how you doing?
Good.
Karen, I'm enjoying this show. Real quick, I like how, I don't even know how old Roderick is, but him
28.
Speaking
45.
28.
I'm 45.
Okay. Okay. Let me just say this. You know, when Katt started to speak introspectively about his own experience and his relationship in the comedic world and how he's making other comedians stand accountable as others aspire to be like them and follow them. He's telling truth mixed in with comedy. And sometimes it hurts a little bit, but a lot of times we need that reckoning as a culture. He said, I didn't bend over. I didn't get on my knees. And some of it was emotional. And he talked about his childhood, but then it was mixed in, it was brilliant. He mixed it in with humor. He's telling a story, and he's making you realize that at the end of the day, we're still a very brilliant, respectable culture. Don't compromise yourself. That was basically the bottom line to it. He made you laugh, and then when Shannon took it to his childhood, you got quiet for a moment and started to listen. It was brilliant. So for Roderick, I just want you to tell you, whether you believe a lot of it or not, he was speaking truth to a lot of it. Some of it, like Karen said, was mixed in with humor, but at the heart of it was us as a people, and he did it through humor. I just wanted to tap that really quick. When you go back.
I'm with you. I want you to know, like, I'm as I've said many times, I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I thought it was smart. I thought it was brilliant. Because he crafted a narrative in 2.5 hours. People can't do stand-up for 2.5 hours. He crafted a narrative in 2.5 hours that made people, whether you're cherry picking, because we don't all know what's true, what's not, right? But there's enough there of substance that we walked away like, here's a list of his enemies. We riding with Katt on these. We not riding with them. We looking for explanations. People coming out with statements. And like I said, even the stuff that was like, somewhat ridiculous, like the Illuminati, me and Ludacris got to cut our hair or whatever. Ludacris put out a rap to respond to it. Like,
we got it. We got it. You ready?
Ludacris, like he put the world on, like yesterday he was the center of the world. And I'm just giving him credit for that. But like I said, I don't have to walk away like, all right, I hate all these people now. I'm just like, okay, though they may or may not have done those things. We'll see. I do want to hear their responses to it, but they exist in a complexity the same way that he exists in a complexity. I'm sure they gonna want to tell their side of the story, and I'm here to hear it. I want to hear it.
Yep. Cedric responded. It was not worth playing. So I
wanted him to say whether he stole the joke or not.
Yeah, nah. It wasn't worth playing. It wasn't worth playing. But we do have the side-by-side joke. So I have the before and then the after, the Katt Williams joke. And then Seth took it to the next level with the spaceship, though, because I thought that was clever. The shuttle. Anyway.
You know what's interesting about that, Karen, is those are two popular jokes that I've seen and heard and known my whole life. But it wasn't until Katt said it was stolen that I was like, oh, I guess they are similar like that. Those are not obscure jokes. One of them's in Kings of Comedy.
Right, you know right. Right. And memorable. Like one of the best of his set, when he's trying to park the space shuttle.
If you're a Comic View person, the Katt joke used to get played on Comic View all the time. Mm-hmm. So like these are not like obscure jokes. So like I said, I don't know if he stole the joke or not. I know I've loved both jokes my whole life, and now I'm like, maybe he stole the joke. That's how brilliant the Katt Williams interview was.
Yeah. Okay.
But the other thing is he had the lightest weight to carry because like what he was accused of was the least
least egregious.
Yeah, like
I don't know. Being accused of being an Illuminati with a big face, light skinned wife was like, I don't know.
Well,
and having to cut his hair.
He never said who had the big face, light skinned wife.
No, he did. He said look, Ludacris.
Oh, you're right. He did.
He said Ludacris by name. Yes, that's how we got to the
Illuminati. But also, like, you believe that, Karen? The Illuminati pulled them in a room and said, cut your hair.
I do.
Come on. Get the hell
I've been down there. Do you believe the Illuminati exists?
I got too much respect for you to believe that you believe that's how it happened. I have too much respect. What the Illuminati care about who cut their hair? Like, you got to cut your hair.
That's suspicious.
It's control. It's power. Roderick.
What's the power they get out of that? Ludacris ain't never. What have you done? Because Ludacris did something. Like what's the change in your life? You like, man?
It's the non-change. It's the non-change. It's like giving Van Jones $100 million. Ain't nothing gonna happen.
Van Jones has done stuff. He up there with Meghan McCain. You can't do that to Ludacris.
That's true.
Not gonna let you do it.
All right, I don't know what Ludacris has done.
This the power of Katt Williams, y'all. This the danger. This what I was talking about, Cedric. You see what I thank you for illustrating it. This is why I have to be a a certain level of skeptical with everybody. You have to apply that to everything, because you'll be walking around like Ludacris in the
How
Illuminati.
he getting the Fast
sold
and
out
Furious?
black people.
All the actors in the world. Why him? Why he got a Christmas movie with the Lil Rel, who probably's in the where these people come from?
There's 90 people in Fast and Furious now.
Why
any
him?
of them?
Why him? How him?
Because the Illuminati.
The Illuminati. Well,
keep in mind, he was in Fast. He wasn't even in all the Fast movies. But the one he was in, was the one when they was like, Vin Diesel might not do these no more. And so he just came in to help. You know what I mean? The Illuminati work in some mysterious ways, y'all.
They do. I promise you, they got us twisted. All right, so
I'm gonna look dumb in 4 years when it's President Ludacris, and I'm gonna be like, man, I didn't see it coming.
See,
it was on
it. Smith, save the tape. Save the tape, Smith. All right, because I know I'm right. All right, so listen. It's dry January. Dry January. Anybody else who's doing the dry? Anyone drying out this January? They have dry January. So the start of the year, no booze. Well, there's a new flip on it. Just doing 1 week. 1 week. They're saying ease into it. Just do 1 week, no booze. Anyone doing that? Have you had to dry out for the January? Do you drink? I don't even know if you drink.
I don't drink that often, but I've never had a drinking issue. So I don't drink to get drunk, and then I don't drink that often. But also, I haven't had a drink this year, but it's not on purpose. It's just that would normally be what I do.
No opportunity or no desire.
Yeah, it's just,
so
I don't really celebrate drinking and stuff. If I go out with a friend or something, maybe have a drink, something like that. I'm not a drinker. And
what's the drink that you go to? Because they were cognacing it out. They were drinking so much cognac, I was getting a headache.
Oh my God, Shannon Sharp.
And you noticed that his bottle, because I was noticing, because they each had their own bottle.
Yeah.
Shannon's bottle was way lower, and Katt was drinking a lot of water, which I said, this is the other reason why he's super smart. If you're consuming alcohol, it dries you out, which is why you get a hangover and a headache. And he kept drinking water right behind every sip he took. Yeah. He was drinking water, and Shannon wasn't. Shannon's gonna have a headache.
That's also Shannon's go-to when he don't have a follow-up question. He go drink that.
Take a sip.
Drink that alcohol. Yeah, he be like, oh, I got I'm gonna need some of this. He's not coming off the top as fast because he's so shocked. But yeah, like I said, the drink that I like to order if I really want to feel sophisticated is I tell them a Tom Collins. I don't even really know what's in the Tom Collins. They all taste
that sounds
different,
fancy.
But
that does sound fancy.
I know what I'm talking about, right? When you're I'll have a Tom Collins. They be like, "Ooh, you know your drinks," and I'm like, "I don't know what's in this."
Love it. I love that. Hey. 866-801-8255. All right, let's go to the phones. We're gonna welcome in Kevin in Arizona.
Is it Kevin?
Hi.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, so multiple people have responded, but nobody has said that he's lying. He did not say that Ludacris was in the Illuminati. He said that they met with the Illuminati. Mm-hmm. So for Ludacris to respond like he did, they're responding in things like Kevin Hart saying he's angry, the other guy saying he's corny, the other guy saying that he's bitter, but nobody's saying he lied. Mm-hmm. So that is the main thing. Now, the other thing is the internet is a mother, because they have a tape. They have the tape from Detroit of Katt Williams going in on Steve exactly as he said it happened. And people were in the audience going, whoa, because he went in on him for about 15 minutes because Steve Harvey came out and he had that Henry Welch style joke where you would talk about the audience, or he'd talk about somebody in the audience as opposed to telling his jokes. And Katt Williams said, you talked about this woman for 15 minutes. Now I'm going to talk about you for 15 minutes. And the tape don't lie.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Listen, the receipts are easy to gather, which was the other thing.
In the internet age, they could find out.
And let me be serious with Ludacris, who is a beautiful girl dad. He's got four daughters. His wife is a doctor, very accomplished woman. He's not my favorite rapper, not my top 50, but, and he's not a horrible actor.
Right.
And he seems like a nice fella.
Yeah, like I said, it's like The Dozens. Honesty. If you ever played The Dozens, right? you know, if you go in on somebody, eventually everyone start going in.
That's true. That's
true.
And
that's what's happening. I'm watching the internet just go in on everybody. Like, he's saying certain people were never funny, and I'm like, well, that's not true. Like, they were funny, and I know because we all laughed at their jokes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know you mad at them, and that's part of it. But so, like, I'm just watching. It's masterful. How can you not appreciate? Not that I would want to use that ability on people, but how you can't appreciate somebody having the ability to sit down and change the entire narrative in 2 hours? These people's careers going forward will have been changed because this man sat down for 2 hours of Shannon Sharp. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Phenomenal.
Good luck, can't turn my back on that. Gotta make moves, gotta act on that. You're the one I want and I stand on that. You and me, babe, that's black on